Right, live draw time, ASMR as they call it, with Dave Grohl, and it's a big massive charcoal piece as you can see. So I have got the pencil outline done, pencil outline sketch, then I came through last night. If you check my stories on Instagram or whatever platform you're on, probably YouTube has it as well, we are adding in then the charcoal outline. So we've got the charcoal outline, we have the pencil drawn done. So now at this stage, this is actually the fun bit, which I didn't show in my previous video, which you've got to make sure to check out. I am going to add the heavy black areas, so there'll be a lot of charcoal used, there'll be a lot of mess. I'm going to quickly show you what tools I'm using for it. We've got, first of all, a soft charcoal pencil. That's what I did those outlines with, so they can, let's see, does anything, as you can see. That's all hair, so I don't really care too much about that, what that looks like at this stage. Because, yeah, it is what it is. Right, other tools. We have got the moldable rubber. It's just, yeah, sort of a rubber which you can bend in whatever shape. So if you want to do small points or whatever, you can roll that into like a finer area and then get specific ones. With charcoal pencil, you're not really going to get much of it off. If it's the lighter stuff, you'll get that off okay. But if you've actually went hard with a pencil, you're most likely that's there for life. So you got to sort of scribble around it and accommodate for it. Next, paintbrush. So the paintbrush, when I put down a lot of the, so you can see there, I could like smooth out that area slightly with the paintbrush because there's already charcoal on that. Around the mouth, we could do that. So that'll be used. Then this is a makeup applier of some type. It's like a makeup sponge. Quite handy because then you can go around the eyes with the actual point of that, and it's quite specific, so it'll give you like a softer sort of colour as opposed to a thick, so you can almost go through the whole of that hair with that. Other than that, heavy charcoal, that's dark and black, so if I go in there with that, that just shows you, and then I can smudge that from that. This is more, well, a larger piece so it can cover a bigger area, but it's soft again, so it runs down so quick, but that'll allow me put it on really quick to there, so I could do like so. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be using predominantly at the start, then come through the thicker black. I'll be able to smudge that then. The joy of charcoal is you can smudge like mad on it, and it actually makes it look better. You're adding more color, so it's perfect, right? I'm not going to talk as much in this one. If there is useful points to say, I will make them, but pretty much let you hear the charcoal noise. Keep calling it chalk, don't know why. And yeah, just watch the piece develop and enjoy, people. Right, I need my reference piece. Hold on one second. I'm gonna be using an iPad as I always do for the, so what I do is I put the image which I'm working on up on the iPad, so like that, and I'll lock it so that I can turn it whatever angle, so I'll lock the iPad like that. It's simple. As I said, I've got most of the pencil lines in, but I'm just coming through the darker area, so yeah, enjoy the process, people. Let's go. So the hair has like a whole color, the whole darker color. So I'm tempted, see, you can take this away quite easy, so I'm tempted almost to give the whole hair sort of a darker shade from the get-go. At least if I do that, then there's a base color down for it. I can always, because with this charcoal, which is a like lighter one, I can take it away, not like the sharp pencils. If I'm doing specific lines, because this is sort of vine charcoal, I think it is, I can take that away quite easily. So I might literally just go and block in the main blacks and the main hair color with it. This area up here is quite white, but I still want to give it a base coat. I can take that white away at a later stage. That area in there is very dark. There comes light. joy of adding on the black and these big thick areas is you start to see the piece come alive near enough immediately, because you see what's supposed to be black. Because at the minute you can very much see that it's like he's got white hair and a white beard, but he doesn't. Dave Grohl's very dark features. Speaking of which, the whole Dave Grohl Nirvana connection is so cool. I don't know, with older age, I've got more obsessed with Nirvana, hence the t-shirts I'm wearing and Supply, and yeah, just Nirvana are absolutely class. And the fact that Dave Grohl was Nirvana's drummer is absolutely awesome. You should read his book. I absolutely loved this book. And then when you're hearing references to his Nirvana days, it's sort of really weird because, yeah, and I actually know a couple of people who went to Nirvana concerts and seen them live, which is pretty cool as well. Right, this whole hair area in here behind the hair is all very dark, so I'll block this in quite heavy. Once again, with this lighter charcoal, I can take this away to a point. Underneath his chin is all dark, and this area down here is all dark. So I'll bring that onto the face at this point, because this side of the face is a lot darker than the other. I can come on heavier with that in a bit, but at least if we have some sort of facial tone in there. The eye, I'll need to come back and sort that out. That's quite light there. And then his eyebrow. Darken the head there, and darken the head there. I knew I was missing one thing. I have no coffee. What? No coffee while I paint, draw, make pictures, do creative, cool designs. Tell me who you'd want to see next, actually, as well. A couple of requests for Taylor Hawkins. There's a load of requests for footballers. I'm not avoiding footballers. I'm a rugby guy, so footballers don't overly interest me. I should do them though. There's some key players who I would love to do. And I do like football to an extent, but I do prefer rugby, so I always seem to sort of shy away from painting footballers, because yeah, I sort of like to like the people that I'm painting, and obviously in this example I do. It's super cool. Right, I'm just gonna put random lines there and block that in, because that, yeah, this whole area here is sort of, take that. That actually looks like part of his top. So as you can see, it's not an exact science. The joy of art, and the joy of charcoal especially, is if you get a couple of key lines in place, you can pretty much wing the whole thing to an extent. But that's why I'm preferring charcoal at the moment. Spray paint's quite fun as well, obviously. Which is my other forte. Well, spray paint and acrylic paint. Like I wouldn't do the big murals and stuff. You'd see idolize those people, because that's such a cool skill. And maybe one day I'll do a big massive piece, but I'm enjoying keeping it to a board at the minute. Right, where we'll go next, we'll go around his mouth. So this whole area is dark, especially around his mouth is dark. Goes up into his nose, that area is super dark, and then that cuts off there, dark. His lips have a bit of texture at the top, but there's a space. His nose is interesting because it looks like that nostril's particularly big, but it's not. It's just casting massive shadows. So that actual dark area there would be his nose, the same side of that. It's just that's casting shadow and that's not. So this one looks a lot less crazy. Let's bring that shadow out a bit so that it makes that look less crazy. And his end of his nose is there. This goes up the side. Like so. And then that's lighter there. Sometimes as well you end up making up lines, which can be dangerous because then it'll throw the whole piece out. But on this side of the nose, he definitely has, you can see his bridge, and it's very light, so I'm maybe going to improv slightly and throw in a darker line there to give it more emphasis. Once again, I can remove it at a later stage, but at this initial stage I think it would be healthy for the drawing to do that. It's the same here, this line's very faint, which marks the outside of his sort of cheek, and then his hairline there. And bring that down. Hair actually runs behind that, so yeah, if I can have like a basic shade for my hair, then I'll be happy at this stage. We can add the finer details later and remove. The hair will come alive when you start adding the white parts, but at this stage, if I can just have a basic sort of outline and shade to it. Let's throw a little random lines in here because I'm not really overly interested at this point. Because I'm about to get my hand and smudge it. Oh, smudge it all through that. Legs just decided to give way on me there. That's all his hair to there, then that goes into his top. So we'll go base on that. There, right. Let's look at the forehead. This whole forehead from this point has mild shading. I want to give him something on this side, not too much. But this is definitely mild shading. This side of the eyes is, give him slight darkness underneath the eyes. Or this whole area here is pretty dark. I'll be making this side darker. Just initially want to get something on that. This side of the nose is really dark. I'll be taking colour off that for the wee highlights. That's right, beard. So I've got the outline of his beard, which is pretty much hidden, but I want to keep that line there so that I can still give his face shape. I tend to, if you have lines to work to, you know how much you can add on and take away. If I didn't have those underlines, as I would call them, it's probably an outline, maybe underline sounds cooler, but I wouldn't overly know where his chin finishes. So if I did this area really dark, his chin could end up being down here, and I don't want that. So I want to have some sort of reflection of where his beard ends and starts. This is all pretty much dark. There's a couple, you would never even worry at this stage about picking up those sort of flick hairs, the stragglers. You'll get them in the end, but there's no point doing it now. I'm going to give him a lot of shade there. He hasn't got that on this piece because it's very overexposed, but it'll improve the piece and give him a bit more shape, because if I don't do anything to this white area, it's just going to look flat as anything. So I want my whitest points to be in my eyes and then any highlights. So I want to give the face at least some sort of colour, and you would obviously go the contours off the face. Now this side will be so much darker in the end than this, but this will have some sort of cover on it, and that's how messy you get your hands. Hair on this side, yeah, just wing it on. Those are all straggly hairs down there anyway, so I can sort of throw a couple of straggly ones in. I'll pick up on them. They do matter where they are shaped, but at this stage they don't matter because, as I've said a million times now, I'm just trying to get the outline and the actual shading of that. Right, and we know. Then down here, this is his clothes. His clothes are grey, so I'm literally going to smudge over this grey just to mark that in. His throat stroke neck has quite a bit of shading actually. These lines here. Looks like he has sort of goosebumps as well, which could be quite hard to draw. If I was doing this in pencil, that would be a really cool feature to pick up on. I don't know what you call it, if you can see there. It's sort of like goosebumps, or sort of like a cold neck where you would get sort of like, I don't even know the words. Yeah, your pores would show more. That would be class to draw. Because this is never going to be as accurate as a pencil drawing, because literally it's just, I'll call it representative of the person. Yeah, it's never gonna, I'll pick up some features like on this t-shirt here, I can pick up these lines no problem, but because I'm trying to keep it more, not messy and rushed, but definitely get the piece done, because I could spend like 2-3 weeks on this, but I don't want to. That's not the nature of these pieces. I want these pieces to be quick fire, celebrity representative drawings. And yeah, right, we're going to stop there and we're going to add more dark in. I'm going to stop the video at this point. So have an amazing day and thanks for watching.